Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to the Healthy Her podcast. It is finally springtime here in Australia. The sun is shining, and I just feel like the sun and the lighter mornings and the warmer weather just sets my soul on fire. I am not a winter girl, and we're pretty lucky because I live in Australia, so we don't even have these really dark, deep, freezing cold winters, but I just don't feel myself in winter. So I'm very excited for the spring weather and for things to warm up and for life just to feel a little bit brighter with the warmer weather. So in today's episode, this one has been highly requested. So I'm going to be giving you all my top healthy eating tips for a spring reset. Now, I know that you are probably feeling the same. It's springtime. You're probably thinking you want to shake off winter, improve your healthy eating habits, maybe lose some weight, get a little bit fitter. And springtime's always like I always feel like it's almost like a second new year. It's like a reset, a restart, and a refresh. So that's what today's episode is all about, a spring reset and how you can easily reset your healthy eating and your diet. Before we get stuck into today's episode, I am going to do a little giveaway to celebrate spring. So all you need to do is screenshot this episode of the Healthy Her podcast, share it to your social media, and don't forget to tag me at the Active Bod and let me know what you loved about today's episode. And I will choose one winner to send a Kickstart your spring pack with a few goodies, maybe a meal plan and some of my Real Nourish meal prep mixes, a few things to help kickstart your healthy eating journey this spring. So all you need to do is screenshot the episode, share it to your socials, and don't forget to tag me at the Active Bod to win. Okay, let's get stuck into today's episode. Now, I know that, like I said, it's coming out of winter and you're wanting to get spring ready and you're wanting to look and feel your best and wear those spring dresses and those shorts and all of those clothes and things that make you feel vibrant and amazing. But I want to start off with this episode. Before I get into my top 5 tips, I want to talk to you about what I actually don't want you to do this spring, because this is a warning. I'm warning you and I'm preparing you for what is to come, because in the next few months, especially through spring and leading into summer, you are going to be bombarded with messaging about healthy eating and weight loss. All of the companies out there will start ramping up their efforts and you will see more and more. And unfortunately, all of them are going to offer you a quick fix, a big poster about a spring shred. And this spring shred was offering like quick, rapid weight loss results. And I was going to feel amazing in no time and change my life. And all of the things that you are going to be bombarded with are all quick fixes, short term. But that's how they rope you in, is because they promise you the world in a really short amount of time. So I just want to warn you that it's coming, because I think a big thing with healthy eating and weight loss is if you become aware of these things, you become a bit more in tune and you become better at shutting out that outside noise. So for me, I used to always see these things, or I'd hear it on the radio, or there'd be something in a magazine or on TikTok or on Instagram, and I'd be like, right, well, keto's next thing, or intermittent fasting's the thing I need to try. And I would jump on that bandwagon because the advertising sold me. So I really just want you to be conscious of what is around you and what you are consuming. So just if you see those things and you hear those things, try really hard to not pay attention to them. Focus on things. If someone's talking about eating nourishing food and taking your time with weight loss and all of those kind of things, listen to those things, but try to ignore the spring shred posters, drop 5 kilos in 5 weeks this spring, all of those things, because no one can promise you that. No one can guarantee you that you will lose a kilo a week for 5 weeks, because it's not, everyone's bodies are different and you cannot guarantee someone that. So if you see it, just try and ignore it and just try and shut out all of that outside noise, because I'm warning you, it's everywhere and it's just going to ramp up as the months go on. So just being aware of that is a really good thing to go into spring, because it will help you make better choices for the long term rather than just jumping on the next quick fix. Because I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this episode, you've tried lots of quick fixes, as I have, and they didn't get me anywhere. All they did was left me feeling confused and overwhelmed and wondering what on earth I'm supposed to be doing and eating and how I'm supposed to be moving my body. So really try and block out all of that outside advertising and things that you're going to come across in the next couple of months. Okay, so the other thing so first of all, we talked about blocking out the advertising and the outside noise that's coming. The other thing I don't want you to do is anything drastic. Drastic changes to your healthy eating don't do anything. The reason that they don't do anything is because they don't last and they are not sustainable. So I don't want you to go, oh, spring, okay, I really want to fit into my dress and I don't feel comfortable in my own skin and I'm ready for a change and I want to do something different. I don't want you to then go, okay, well, I'm going to skip my lunch, or I'm going to I'm just going to cut calories. I'll just eat less food and then I'll lose weight. It does not work that way. So I just want to remind you to not do anything drastic this springtime, because I'm telling you from personal experience, it will get you nowhere. It will probably leave you tired and hungry, and you'll probably end up binging on all the food, and then you'll be right back to where you started. So please don't do anything drastic this spring. Okay. Simple, steady, sustainable, consistent is what works when it comes to healthy eating and weight loss. So please do not sign up for anything drastic like keto, or you're skipping meals or cutting calories or drinking weight loss shakes, any of those kind of things. Please don't do anything drastic. All right, so we've talked about all the things that we don't want to do this spring. So let's get stuck into the good stuff. Let's talk about some easy ways that we can reset your healthy eating this spring. So I've narrowed it down to my top 5, and these are all really easy, really simple things that you can implement and that you can start doing straight away. But remember, they only work if you ignore all of the advertising that's going to be around you, and if you don't do anything drastic, because I know our brains take us to that, well, I just want a quick fix and I want to do this in the quickest and fastest and easiest way possible so I don't have to feel uncomfortable and it's just really easy. And unfortunately, it's not how it works. But there are some really simple ways that you can do a good spring reset. So you just go into the new season of spring feeling good about yourself, changing a few of your habits, cleaning up a few things so that you are on the right path and so that you are setting yourself up for success, moving forward. Okay, spring healthy eating reset tips. Number 1, so we've talked about this a little bit, so I want you to ignore all of the outside noise, okay? And that's not just talking about advertising and posts on social media, and I also want you to block out the outside noise of other people. So I want you to ignore what someone else is doing. Now, I have talked about this in previous episodes of The Healthy Her. There's always someone, and there's always a woman that you know doing something for her weight loss. So I want you to block out that noise. If, Sharon has lost 10 kilos from work on keto, that's fine. That's what worked for her. You don't need to follow what other people are doing. So it's really important that you just shut out all of the outside noise this spring. And the other thing I want you to do is to check in with yourself. So it's been winter time here in Australia. Now, If you are in another part of the world, this will work the same. Okay, so I want you to check in with yourself. So we're moving from winter to spring here in Australia. Like I said, any season that you're moving from an old season into a new season, these things will work for you. So I want you to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel vibrant and energized and well rested? And you wake up in the morning and you like what in the mirror, your clothes fit comfortably, you just feel good about yourself? Or do you feel like there need to be a few changes made? Do you feel like that you need to tweak a few things and you're not quite feeling like yourself? You're not quite loving how your clothes feel right now. You're feeling pretty tired and sluggish. You're finding yourself hungry all the time. You're craving sugar. All of these things are signs that our bodies give us. And this is why it's really important to ignore all of that outside noise and to just check in with yourself and focus on yourself. Our bodies give us these whispers all the time. So all the time you'll get that little niggle of, oh, my pants feel a little bit tighter. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll think about it later on. You just do them up again. Or you buy a bigger size, or we get these little niggles, or that our bodies are saying to us, I'm really tired and I need to go to bed early and prioritize my sleep. Our bodies keep giving us these signals that it needs us to change something. But the problem is with our busy modern day society, we just ignore them. We feel them, we hear them, we go, okay, yeah, I feel that way. Okay, I'll just forget that. I'll just ignore that and I'll think about it later. And unfortunately, when we do that, it's those problems just compound themselves. So the small change that you should have made in the first place is now 10 other changes that you need to make in order to get back to you feeling your best. So, number one of your spring healthy eating reset, I want you to ignore all the noise and I want you just to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's working for you? What's not working for you? Okay, what are you feeling good about? What are you feeling not so good about? Check in with yourself to work out what you need and what you need to change. Okay, tip number two, I want you to clean out your fridge, your pantry, and also your space. So, your kitchen, your living room, the main areas of your home that you live in. Now, something that I've learned over time, and this is really important, is that your environment is a reflection of you. So, if your environment, is chaotic, it's messy, it's cluttered, it's what your mind's going to feel like. Whereas if you have a clean, organized space, I truly believe that allows more positive energy to flow and you can think about your life and the things that you need to do and the daily actions that you need to take. You can do them with a clearer mind and it encourages more positive energy to flow. So it's really important as part of your spring healthy eating reset, is to clean up your space. Okay. And like I said, it's not just your fridge and your pantry, but also just your general space. Because how do you think about getting out your gym clothes or meal planning or prep if you've got piles and piles of rubbish on your kitchen bench? Like, it's very hard to get into and I want to organize these things when you're starting from a not so great place in the first time. You've got to sort out all this mess first before you can actually even think about doing meal planning or prep. So spend some time this spring and clean up your space, and I promise you future you will thank you for it. Okay, what about cleaning out your fridge and your pantry? So this is another thing. So that's that environment. So if you're going to your fridge and your pantry and it's messy and it's full of all of this stuff. So I want you to do not just a clean up, but I want you to do a pantry and a fridge audit. Okay, so how is your fridge and pantry looking? Is it full of fresh food or is it full of everything's in a packet? Is like your pantry and your fridge full of stuff that's processed and in a packet? So have a look at it, do a diet audit. Now, I don't want you to get into this mindset of, oh, well, I have to clean out every bad food and throw out the chocolate and I'm not going to have chips anymore and all those kind of things. No, just make some small changes. Like I said, if everything's in a packet, that's a good sign that something needs to change. You should have lots of fresh fruit, vegetables, things like yogurt, wholemeal bread. So you can still have your snacks, like there's nothing wrong with popcorn and pretzels and all those kind of things. And also, too, another way, when you are doing your pantry and your fridge diet audit, what are some other smarter swaps you can make? So if you're standing there looking at your pantry and you've got 5 packets of chips in 5 different flavors, well, think, hang on a minute, I know I'm really not good with a whole packet of chips because once I put it in front of me, I tend to just eat the whole thing at once. So maybe you can swap your large packets of chips and swap them for something that's a little bit smarter. So swap it for buying one of those multi packets of chips because that serving size is more controlled, it's more portioned out, and it's easier just to open a smaller packet and stop at one than it is when you open a big packet of chips and you just want to eat the whole lot. So there's lots of small little smart swaps that you can make. So clean out your fridge and pantry, clean out your space, do a fridge and a pantry diet audit. What can you change? What can you improve? And also, too, just give it a good clean out. Like it feels really good. This is something that I've gotten into the habit of doing. My kids it's something I'm trying to teach my children too, because they always say to me, like, oh, we're going grocery shopping. Why do we have to tidy out the fridge and the pantry? And there's nothing worse than going to the grocery store or the supermarket and doing a big food shop and you come home and your fridge and your pantry is a mess. So my top tip is to always like just once a week, and I'm not talking like pull everything out and a big full cleanup. Just give it a cleanup before you go and do your grocery shop. Tidy up your fridge and pantry. Throw out those dodgy containers that we go, I'll put that in a container and I'll have it later. And you open it and it's growing mold and it's horrible and disgusting. Clean out your fridge, throw out that stuff, just give it a quick wipe down. And that will also help you too, because you can clearly see, okay, well, right, I'm really low on my veggies, haven't got much fruit there, need to get some yogurt. It'll really help you see what you need to buy and what things you need to focus on. Whereas if each week you just food shop, buy some random things, there's no planning, there's no list, you just shove everything in your pantry and your fridge, again, it's just going to contribute to that chaos and that disorganization. So really do a good fridge and pantry cleanup and do a diet audit and think, what things can I change? Or like I said, with the packet of chips, what things can I swap? There are so many amazing swaps that you can make for like the multi-pack snacks. Same with chocolate. If you are someone that struggles to have a block of chocolate in the house, get rid of the block of chocolate and buy a multi-pack of something, a multi-pack of Mars bars or Snickers or Kit Kats or whatever your thing is. It's a whole lot easier to have one or two of those, whereas an open block of chocolate, it's just a free-for-all. And it is very hard, like even for people that are good at healthy eating, it is a lot harder to be in control around an open block of chocolate or an open packet of chips. So really see where you can still have those things that you enjoy and those foods that you love. But like I said, just swap the big packets for something smaller. All right, let's look at tip number 3. This one has been a really significant change for me in my life in the last few years. Now, as we talked about, it is the change of season. It is springtime in Australia, and you're wanting to shake up your healthy eating. You might want to lose some weight. You might want to drink more water. You might want to get some more exercise in, and you're going to have some goals. Are you tired of the endless struggle to eat healthy and nail your meal prep routine? Introducing the Real Nourish Do-It-Yourself Meal Prep Mixes, the ultimate solution for busy women like you. When I went on my own personal health journey, I discovered the many benefits of meal prep. And after much searching, I just couldn't find a meal prep mix that was designed especially for women. So I literally decided to create my own. Trust me, as a busy working mum, meal prep has changed my life. Our mixes are packed with protein to keep you energized and feeling full. Our mixes can be whipped up in under 10 minutes, perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Using our award-winning pancake tray bake mix means you can say goodbye to standing over a hot stove, flipping pancakes. Simply add water, toss in your favourite fruits, and bake. If you're ready to revolutionise your meal prep game, you can find my mixes at theactivebod.com or follow us on Instagram at realnourish_. And as a special thank you to our Healthy Her community, we have a discount code. So just enter the code, the Healthy Her, at the checkout. One of the big changes that I made is I swapped my goals for intentions. So let me explain to you what that means. So it's very similar to a new year. So spring, like I said, it's like our second new year. We feel like a rebirth, like we want to change, we want a fresh start, we want to do things differently. So swapping your goals for intention. So the reason that I have done that is because we set goals for ourselves, right? So you say, I want to lose 10 kilos. That's a big goal. Like, that's a big goal. And in order for you to get to that goal, there is a million tiny little steps that have to happen in order for you to get to that goal. So if you just say, I want to lose 10 I want to lose 10 kilos, that's my goal. You're only going to celebrate that goal at the end. Okay. And you've got so much work to do in between now and getting to that end goal. So goals are very hard. They're very hard for our brains to understand because they are so big. They are so big. And like I said, there's so many other little parts that have to go into you getting to your goal. And that's why I started swapping those goals of, well, I want to lose 10 kilos to setting intentions for myself. Okay. So what that means is, what I want you to do at the start of this season, at the start of spring, I don't want you to start the month off saying, well, I want to lose 5 kilos, I want to lose 10 kilos, I want to fit into a size 8. Whatever goal you're setting for yourself, I want you to swap them for intentions. And how you do that is you write them down. There is so much research around how people increase their achievability of goals just by writing them down. And I know it sounds really simple, but trust me, from personal experience, it works. So instead of having one big goal, I want you to write down 3 intentions for the month. So, what are 3 things that you intend to do? And intentions are a lot easier for our brains to understand because they are small, they are achievable. We think that we can do them. They look like they're something that we can achieve. Whereas saying, I'm going to lose 10 kilos, it's just too big. It's too big. It's too overwhelming. And our brains just have trouble seeing the end goal. So write down 3 intentions that you have for the month of September for spring. So they might look like exercise 3 times a week. That can be one of your intentions. Another one of your intentions might be to drink 1.5 liters of water every day. Those things are realistic, those things are achievable, and you are more likely to be able to do them compared to just writing down a massive goal that isn't broken down into lots of little steps. So, number 3, swap your goals for intention. So, as you're listening to this, think to yourself, even just jump out of the podcasting app for a sec that you're listening to this on and pop it in your notes. So, right, these are my 3 intentions. Exercise 3 times a week, and also to make sure they're realistic and achievable things. And then what I want you to do is at the end of this month, I want you to go back and I want you to have a look at those intentions that you wrote for yourself and go, well, did I do them? And you will actually be quite surprised because you thought about them, you became aware of them, and you wrote them down. You will significantly increase your chances of those things happening. So instead of, like I said, just going into spring going, I'm going to lose all this weight and I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to join the gym, I'm going to do all these things, just choose 3 things. Or you just choose 3 intentions, 3 things that you intend to do this month, write them down, and at the end of the month, I want you to go back and have a look. You will be surprised that at least 80% of the things that you intended to do, you will have done purely because you focused in on them and purely because you became aware of them. So swapping goals for intentions is a really good one that can move you closer to your long-term goals. Tip 4, make a plan for your success. Now, you have set yourself some intentions for the new season and you've written them down. So now you need to make a plan for your success. So, are you just of the mindset of, well, I want to improve my healthy eating habits and I want to exercise more and I want to feel good in my clothes, but I'm just going to cross my fingers on my left hand and just hope for the best that this happens? Not going to work that way. You have to make a plan for your success. So nothing happens without a plan. So how can you set yourself up for success this month? You're not just going to keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. What can you do to ensure that those intentions that you set for yourself are going to happen? So let's use the intention of exercising 3 times a week. Now, your exercising 3 times a week might be 3 walks. It might be 3 Pilates classes. It might be 3 sessions at the gym. Sorry. It might be love swimming. So it might be going for 3 swims and doing the laps at the swimming pool. So how are you going to plan for that to happen? So here are some tips that you might like to do. So you could write it in your diary or in your calendar, make them like little meetings or little appointments that you keep with yourself. Because I can guarantee you, if you just say your intentions, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week, and you don't schedule it in somewhere to your busy week, the chances of it happening are not very high. Okay, because life gets busy, stuff comes up, and the first thing to go is usually those kind of things. So, like the exercise and the healthy eating, they're always the first things to go. So, writing them in your diary and making yourself a plan of when you are going to do that exercise 3 times a week is going to help set you up for success. Some other ways is you can put out your workout clothes the night before. It's a visual reminder. So, the night before, you write, okay, well, tomorrow I've got my Pilates class that I've booked into my calendar. I'm going to that Pilates class. If you put your clothes out the night before, when you wake up in the morning, those clothes are there looking at you. It is another visual reminder that you have your exercise to do today, that you have your Pilates class. That is you making a plan for your success. Like I said, just hoping and wishing and going, oh, yeah, I might just do 3 exercises a week and yeah, I'll just fit it in somewhere with my busy schedule and my kids. And it's just not going to happen. Okay. Our lives are so hectic, they are so busy. So that's why you need to make a plan for your success. If it's not exercise and it comes to food, it could be meal prepping. So, can you meal prep your breakfast for 3 days? So, again, that might be writing that in your calendar on a Sunday. You set aside an hour on a Sunday afternoon and you just do some meal planning and you just meal prep your breakfast for 3 days. If you're someone that is constantly waking up and skipping breakfast and not starting your day with a high protein meal, and then you constantly find yourself feeling hungry, rummaging around for food and eating all the chocolate and the junk food and then binging after dinner because you're so hungry, make a plan for your success. So, meal prep your breakfast. You guys know that I use my Real Nourish meal prep mixes because they're so easy and they're so convenient. They take me 10 minutes to make. And then in the morning, I can just take them out, pop them in the microwave, put a little bit of yogurt or extra maple syrup or whatever I want on the top. And I've got a healthy, high protein breakfast that I can just grab and eat. And I'm set up for the day. It helps me make better food choices. Don't binge during the day. I don't feel hungry late at night. And starting my day that way sets me up for absolute success. So, tip number 4, you must make a plan for your success. Please don't cross your fingers and just hope for the best. You must make a plan for your success. Tip number 5, and this is our lucky last one for our spring healthy eating reset, is to get back to basics. And the unfortunate thing with social media, especially, and advertising and TV and all of those things is basic is not sexy. And that's why you don't see advertising that says, hey, sign up for this here and we'll show you how to slowly and steadily lose weight so you can eat healthy consistently for life. And you might get a little bit uncomfortable along the way. It might be a little bit hard. You might want to quit a few times, but hey, we'll get you there. You just don't hear that stuff. You hear spring shred, drop 5 kilos in 5 weeks. Spring reset for weight loss, drop 2 kilos today. That is what you will hear. And unfortunately, that's the sexy stuff and that's the stuff that sells. And getting back to basics is not sexy. So it's the reason that it's not talked about enough, it's not advertised enough because basics aren't sexy. But here's the thing, right? Basics is what works. And that's the problem with this whole healthy eating and weight loss space is we've just got so way past the basics of healthy eating that it has to be keto or intermittent or it has to be shakes or you have to drink orange juice and stand on your head upside down. Like it's just gotten that way out of control. So number 5, I really just want you to get back to basics. So what you can do is, I know as women, we get so focused on, right, well, what do I need to take out? I need to take out the chocolate. I need to take out the lollies. I need to take out the packet of chips. I need to take out eating my lunch, right? I'll skip my lunch and that will help me lose weight. I want you to flip the script and I want you to flip the way you're thinking about this. So think about this is not what I can take out of my diet and out of my daily routine and my habits. I want you to think, hang on a minute, what can I add in? So I want you to get back to basics. What can you add in? Can I add in some more water? I really don't drink enough water. There is also a lot of research out there about how if you're feeling tired all the time, drink more water. Hydration can leave you feeling quite tired throughout the day. So, if you are not drinking enough water, I definitely recommend looking at that, especially if you're feeling tired all the time, because hydration has a big impact on how tired you feel throughout the day. So, can I add in more water? Can I add in more movement? Have I been sitting way too much? So instead of thinking, oh, quick, I've got to sign up for a gym and I've got to do 7 days of perfect workouts and I've got to do weight training and I've got to do all this stuff. What about, hey, you know what? I just need to get up off the couch, out of my chair, away from my desk, and just move more throughout my day. That is a really simple thing that you can add in right now. Another one, what can you add in? Are you eating enough vegetables? Probably not. I know majority of us don't eat enough fruit and vegetables. So can I add that back in? Can I add some extra veg with my lunch? Can I add some extra veg to my dinner? That is a super easy thing that you can add in. It doesn't require you to go hungry. It doesn't require you to take anything out. It doesn't require you to do anything crazy or drastic. Same with like fruit or steps. So have you been not moving very much? How can I incorporate just more daily activity? And I'm not talking about more workouts. I'm just talking about moving more. Park your car further away when you go and do your food shop. If you have to catch the train or the bus to work, can you like walk between this, get off at a different stop and just walk a little bit further and get more steps in that way? Think about what you can add in because basics is what works. Like I said, it's not sexy. It doesn't sell. It's not sexy, but it's the basic stuff that I hope that you have found today's episode super helpful and it's really made you think about not getting into that mindset of, oh, it's a new season, so I need to cut out all this stuff and restrict my diet and drop my calories and go hungry all the time and go on diet shakes and all those kind of things because those things just won't work. So really go through these 5 steps, do each of them carefully and do your diet audit, do your fridge and pantry audit, have a clean up, make your plan for success, get back to basics, and it will set you up for success for the new season moving forward. And also, I hope too that this episode acts as a reminder that you don't need to make drastic and unrealistic changes to your healthy eating habits to get the results that you want. You just need simple, easy things done consistently on repeat over a period of time. That is what works. Okay. The basics done simply on repeat is what works. So I hope you found this episode super helpful. Also, don't forget about our giveaway. So all you need to do is screenshot and share this episode to your social media and let me know what your favorite part was of the episode. And I will select one winner to win a Kickstart Your Spring prize. As always, I have loved talking with you and sharing all of these tips, and I will see you in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.